Hi, I'm Bill Heath, the Superintendent of Schools for Lincoln County. Today is December 16th, 2020, and a special guest here with me today is the principal of Lincoln County High School, Mr. Billy Owens. What we'd like to present to you today is one of our new plans for after Christmas in regards to our response to COVID-19, and that is our A-B scheduling. So, I want to start by just reminding everyone that our goal is to put kids in front of teachers in person as many days as possible. That has become somewhat of a challenge over the last month with our rising number of cases in regard to COVID-19. And we also feel like that our response to COVID-19 needs to be different than it was in August. If you go back to August and you look at the historical data of the number of cases and the outbreaks and so forth, you'll see that today in December of 2020 is a lot different than August of 2020 is. So we are almost planning for a whole different set of circumstances now for the return after Christmas. Our questions we'd like to answer for you today, our number one essential question is, how can we provide the opportunity for in-person learning while providing a safe learning environment for our students? And number two, our essential question is, what is the A-B schedule and why does it work best for the students at Lincoln County High School? And I'd like to pause a moment here and ask the principal, Mr. Owens, to just take a few moments and respond to those two before we go on with the presentation.
Yes, sir. In response to question one, we were already quarantining many students, especially the last couple of weeks. For the school year, we had quarantined 700 students. Now, some of those were multiple times, but 700 students were quarantined from August until now. So we were already kind of doing like an A-B schedule where we just didn't know where the kids, we didn't know who's going to be here and not at school. So we thought with an A-B schedule where we're bringing half in at a time, we would at least know what kids would be there and how many would be there, and probably less chances of quarantine since we're able to spread out more now. So we're looking at that A-B schedule. We like it.
So it sounds to me like the A-B schedule, even though we're up front saying, students will be here only a certain number of days a week, which we will get into the details in just a moment, but even though we're saying that up front, because we're able to social distance better and take better precautionary measures regarding to health, that in the long run we'll have less kids quarantined, and because when a kid's being quarantined, that's multiple days, right?
Yes.
I mean,
yes, 14.
Yeah, 14 days at a time. So, we're sending a lot of healthy kids home because of close contacts. They don't necessarily have COVID as a positive case. So, at the high school level, it's also a little different because you're on the block schedule.
Yes, sir. We'll have new classes starting on January the 4th. So, it's a whole new schedule. So we need those kids to come on Monday and Tuesday, and the district has set that up for us to come on Monday and Tuesday with all our students, half of them one day and half the other day. So we'll have a chance for our students to meet their teachers, to get their syllabus and routines and expectations. So that's really good for that. And then if we have to do an A-B schedule, then we'll be ready to go on the 11th.
And you've heard us mention A-B schedule multiple times, so I know you're thinking, as you're watching this video now and this presentation, you're like, well, what exactly is it? So we're going to get into that in just a moment. But before we do that, yesterday we sent out information in regards to January 4th through the 8th for our entire school system, and I'd like to just review that with you for just a moment. On Monday, January 4th, only students whose last names begin with A through K in our school system will be asked to attend school. And on Tuesday, January 5th, only students whose last name begin with L through Z will be asked to attend school. So on Monday and Tuesday after Christmas, on January 4th and 5th, we'll have half the students in the building. They will receive the same lessons and the same instruction on Monday as the kids do on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday through Friday, we're actually, for the kids, we're going to make it somewhat like a weather day or a stockpile day. We will not be sending assignments home. There won't be any stress of how do we get hooked up virtually, how do we do these worksheets and all of that. But what we will be doing, our staff will be at work On Wednesday, January 6th, we will actually announce to you early that morning, hopefully, what our schools will look like the following week. And then our teachers will be preparing for that the rest of the week of January 4th through the 8th. If you have questions about why and so forth that we're looking at that, please take a look at the presentation that we sent out yesterday regarding our return to school after Christmas, because a lot of it has to do with we don't have a crystal ball. 20 days ago, if you had predicted where we are today with COVID-19, we probably wouldn't have made the prediction of where we are. And so the same thing is in respect to 20 days from now. So at least right now we're telling you what that first week looks like. As parents and students, you can make plans. After that first week though, we're not sure at this point, but we do know by January 6th we'll be able to announce it. So that's our return to school. And what does January 11th, that second week, what does that look like moving forward? Again, we'll make that decision on January 6th. And addressing essential question number 2 that we have for you today, there is an additional option for Lincoln County High School that previously that was previously implemented, and we're calling that the AB schedule. And that's what we want to talk to you a little more in detail about here in a moment. And actually, this option for our high school is an option that currently we're not offering at the middle schools and elementary schools. There are a lot of reasons for that. We can talk about that more in detail sometime in the future. But right now, there are a lot of reasons that Lincoln County High School, and Mr. Owens mentioned some of those a few moments ago, a lot of reasons that we are looking very seriously at an AB schedule for the high school at some point after Christmas. And as always, I want to remind all parents and students, as always, right now you have the right to go virtual, full virtual, if you feel like the options that we're offering you for the benefit of safety and health for your child or your family would be better served. You have that option. So, as we look forward, there are 4 full options that are available for Lincoln County High School beginning on January 11th. Of course, the first one, in person, that's the one we want for everybody. Unfortunately, with our numbers the way they are now and the way they were a couple of weeks ago, we had to go full virtual at our schools. We don't know what that's going to look like after Christmas. We can anticipate through the winter season that between flu and COVID-19 that we will continue to have issues with kids with symptoms and so forth and having to be quarantined. So the in-person option, we had to look at our essential questions from yesterday's presentation and say how can we better serve our kids teaching and learning wise. And the one thing at the high school that we're talking about today is the AB schedule. Now, there is also an option that is an option for all schools, which is what we call the modified virtual. It's similar to what you've learned as virtual instruction, but with differences in which we will have some kids in school on some days. There will be a presentation and a information coming out later this week regarding the modified virtual. But again, that is another option that is somewhat new. That we have inserted into our plans. And then of course the least favorable option for us is a full virtual where every kid is virtual all the time and kids aren't allowed to come to school for any reason. So those are the 4 options going forward that we have for the high school, but today we're going to talk more detail about the AB schedule. And with that in mind, I know the administration at the high school has been working hard talking about the AB schedule, planning, working with their staff. And at this point in time, I'll turn it over to Mr. Owens to talk a little more detail about what the AB schedule looks like. You heard him a moment ago talk about the reasons we're looking at it. Well, now here's basically the response to essential question number 2. Well, what is it? So, Mr. Owens?
Yes, sir. Thank you. And when we talk to our teachers and we listen to our teachers, they want the students in the building. And obviously, that's not just the high school. That's our pre-K through 8 schools as well. But with new classes beginning on the 4th, and we feel like it's really important that our students be there for 5 or 6 weeks or ever how long we're looking at this AB schedule. You know, we just feel like they need to be there, and they need to be there safely. We continue to remind everyone that our district goal and our school goal is the safety and care of our students and staff in the building is number one priority. It's been that way since August, and it will continue to be that way from now on. So on Monday, the 11th, we'd bring in Group A, and that's those students that last name begin A through K. And on Tuesday, we'd bring in, Group A would meet Monday and Tuesday, and Group B would meet Thursday, Friday. Wednesday would be a catch-up day, cleaning day, sanitize, deep clean the building, and we'd also use that Wednesday for remediation of any students that teachers deemed necessary to come in for extra support. We particularly thinking about those students that don't have internet. You know, they're a little bit behind the 8 ball when it comes to maybe not getting what they need. So if we can get those students in on Wednesday, which give them 3 days a week in front of their teacher, in front of support, then we feel like that would really help us. We have, looks like about 100 students that do not have really good internet and maybe spotty at best. So,
so Mr. Owens, let me make sure I'm clear. If I'm a student at Lincoln County High School, if I have internet at home, I will, if my last name begins with A through K, if and when we announce we're on the AB schedule, that schedule looks like this. If my last name begins with some letter A through K, I will be expected to be in school on Monday and Tuesday.
yes.
And on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I would be virtual.
Yes.
Okay. And if my last name begins with L through Z, I would expect it to be virtual Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but in school on Thursday and Friday.
That's correct.
Now, if I happen to, in the same scenario, if I don't have internet though, Wednesdays are those days that we're reserving for many things. It's, you said, not only to meet my needs, not having internet, being able to come in,
Yes.
but also cleaning and those other things, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, good. Let's move on to a little more detail then. Tell me a little more about it.
Okay. And going back to Wednesdays a little bit, you know, our special ed teachers are meeting this morning with Mr. Denton, and they're coming up with a plan to bring more of those special education students in to work with their teachers and with those instructional aides. So, you know, we just feel like they need that extra support. So we feel good about some things that we have going on Wednesday, and just a reminder that you know, we still are planning our Wednesdays. We feel good about Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. We feel good about Wednesday, but there's lots of options we can do, and the district's gonna have some ideas, and there's other school systems that are doing this type of A-B schedule that we might can borrow from them.
So I'm assuming that from your office and from the school, there will be more detailed information coming directly to parents and students of Lincoln County High School.
Yes, sir.
Because we've got a couple of weeks before then, 20 days before.
We have a few days to plan that even better. So there'll be more information to come about the Wednesdays. But we feel really good about Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, Friday. And you know, like I said, we were already doing this type of schedule with so many kids quarantined, and you know, those kids not being there every day is certainly troublesome, but you know, that's where we are, and we just feel like this is a really good option for the high school at this time.
I noticed on the second bullet point here, it talks about synchronous learning. So I'm going to go back to the scenario earlier. If I'm that student that is a student at Lincoln County High School, and my last name begins with A through K, somewhere in that part of the alphabet, I'll be in class Monday and Tuesday, but the rest of the week I will be synchronously learning, it sounds like, which means, to me, that means if I have internet access, I get up like I'm going to school, except at 8 o'clock I'm logging on with my first block teacher. So you guys will have a schedule. Second block starts at a certain time, just like, because the other kids will be in school Thursday and Friday, right?
Correct, and some of our teachers are already doing that with their students now. So you know, so it's not really new, and we realize that things are a little bit different for our high school students, and some are having to work. But you know, we just have to to make those necessary adjustments with those students, but the option will be there if they want to join their first block class at 8 o'clock. They'll have an option to do that.
Okay. And if for students who don't have internet, would they be getting a video copy of that lesson or something, or have it available to them on Wednesdays?
That's a great question. On Wednesday, they can come in and download those videos, okay, and they'll have them on their phone or on their device and be able to use them without the internet. And we've been handing out instructional packets this last week, and there's many places in this county that you cannot get internet. Yeah. So we saw that firsthand. You know, the first time for me that I've been able to witness that, but it's pretty bad in some places.
And you've mentioned your teachers a lot, and some of them are already doing the synchronous learning.
Yes.
And I see on here that they'll be communicating their office hours, probably their planning period in which kids can contact them, or they can contact kids for extra help. So, you know, I just want everybody out there who's watching this presentation to understand, when we go virtual, our teachers are still working in the buildings. They're still teaching. Our EAs are still helping kids. It's important that if your child is struggling in any way, contact the teacher. You've got email, we've got the front office you can call. Find a way to contact the teacher, and they may not be able to get back with you immediately, just like during the school day. They may have kids in front of them on this AB schedule, but they have a planning period, and they'll be able to respond. So I think that's important to know.
Yes, sir. And buses will run on Wednesday for those students that need to ride a bus, and also they have an option if they're drivers that they can come part of the day. Then maybe it's just a morning that they need to catch up with their teachers. But
so buses will also be running Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, yes, for the kids that are supposed to be there too.
Every
right?
day, yes,
okay.
Sir.
Awesome. All right. Anything else you want to talk about with the AB schedule?
No, sir. I don't think so. We're just excited about the opportunity to offer this to our students. Sure. We just with the thoughts of being full virtual, I just don't know how we could survive a full virtual. I understand if we have to do that, we will survive it, because we've proven that we can handle whatever we need to. But we just love this option, and we understand that some students want to be there 5 days a week.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we want them there, yes, 5 days a week. Yes. But the reality is we're not meeting their needs, and our goal of the most possible days in person, sure, direct instruction, sure, the way it is now because of quarantines and, yes, so sir, forth.
And that 150 to 200 students that are full virtual right now because they chose to for health issues or whatever, we feel like as a parent that if they know that they're going to be coming to school with 10 or 12 students in their class that can safely social distance, and we can't do that with 25 students, yeah, not in a cafeteria and not in the classroom, but with 12 in there is no reason not to. So we feel like parents will see that and say, hey, I think we need to send our student back.
Awesome.
So awesome. We feel like that we're going to get a lot of our virtual students back.
Good. So in summary, our essential questions, number one was, how can we provide opportunity for in-person learning while providing a safe learning environment for our students? Right now at the high school, it looks like one of the best options to do that with our numbers the way they are is with an AB schedule. We are not looking at that for the pre-K 8 at this moment in time, for various reasons, but the biggest reason is the number of high school kids that have been quarantined and positive cases at the high school being higher than any other school that we have in the district. Essential question number two, what is the AB schedule and why does it work best for the students at Lincoln County High School? Well, you've heard all the information today. I would ask that parents and students from Lincoln County High School please keep your eyes open and look for a lot more detailed information from the administration. It's forthcoming. It will outline the logistics and expectations during this time. Again, we're going to announce officially on January 6th what it looks like going forward after beginning on January 11th. But as you can tell from our discussion here, this AB schedule at the high school is a very real option for us going forward, especially in the wintertime. So parents, I would say that as you begin to think about January 11th forward, please make sure you know this AB schedule and know that it is truly one of the top options at the high school. But until we know the numbers for certain, or a little closer to the date of January 11th, we won't be able to say with 100% certainty, but I can tell you the high school, the staff at the high school, they're making plans for an AB schedule. And if we happen to be full in person, those plans are the same. It's just everybody's there instead of half the people being there, and nobody's synchronous at that point in time. So keep that in mind. And Mr. Owens, any closing comments you'd like to make?
Well, I would like for our parents to know that our goal is not to have more than 15 students in a classroom on Monday and Tuesday with Group A, and then on Thursday and Friday with Group B. Our top number, we're looking at 15. So if it's more than that, then we're going to try to tweak it where we can get those numbers under 15. And we've already looked at our rosters. We've highlighted rosters. We had, counting all our virtual students, we had about 600 students with Group A and about 507 with Group B. So,
and that's counting the ones who are full virtual.
Full virtual.
So that's if everybody decided. Okay.
Yes.
So it'll be less than that, more
yes.
than likely.
So as we get closer to January 11th, then we'll be able to really hone in on those rosters, and we can make tweaks if we need to. We just don't want more than 15 in a class. So I think parents will feel good about that. We can social distance with 15 in a class, but not with 25.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today,
Yes,
and helping explain this to our parents and our families. I'd ask you guys to don't hesitate to call our office or the high school office if you need some clarification. But I'd also ask you to be patient, to realize that more clarification and details are coming out from the high school over the next few days and a couple of weeks. Also, I would ask you to look forward to a similar presentation regarding the modified virtual, which is we'll get out to you someday this week. And it's the other plan that is a little different than anything we've done in the past. We've taken our virtual and made some slight changes to it. So thank you again for viewing this presentation, and thank you again for being here, Mr. Owens.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.